Alright you guys, so I've never done this type of video before, but I had a question the other day on my YouTube channel about who was my favorite YouTube creator to watch. I consume a heckin' lot of YouTube content, so I thought this might be a fun idea, especially during Vlogmas, to spread, you know, positivity and joy and share other channels that you might not know of, but might, you know, find interesting or helpful. And these are all going to be reseller specific, but let's roll that intro and get right into this video. Hey guys, I'm Kay and I'm a part-time reseller mostly on eBay and Poshmark. I do also sell on Depop, though it's been quite a few months since I made a sale there. So Depop, if you could wake up, that would be great. And I also have an antique booth at a local antique mall. I do this mostly so that me and my daughter can travel the world. It's my biggest passion in life, other than, you know, being a mom and spending time with her. So when we can travel together, especially, that's great for me. I do work full-time and do this on the side, so any profit that I make goes towards that. But anyways, less about me. This video is about you guys. So I have close to 200 subscriptions on YouTube, most of which are resellers. I do have a couple of, you know, like DIYs and, you know, home type of stuff. But the majority are resellers who create content for YouTube. So like I said in the intro, I got a question on my YouTube video, one of my Vlogmas ones, so it was pretty recent, and it sparked an idea to make a video with the creators that I enjoy watching. This list is in no way exclusive. Please don't feel bad if you are not on this list. I wanted to make it symmetrical, so I did 22. Like I said, I have close to 200 subscriptions and I watch all of them faithfully. I don't keep a subscription if I don't like that person or if I don't enjoy watching their videos, because that doesn't make any sense for me. It's like a false sub. Hi to the baby. But anyway, like I said, please don't feel bad if you didn't make this list. I just picked from the list of 200 as I saw them, and every single person that I subscribe to here on YouTube has helped me in some way. Personally, through my business, I enjoy watching them. I watch them religiously. Having that amount of people that you subscribe to, it takes a lot of my time. So mostly I'm sitting at my desk working and I have YouTube on in the background while I'm completing my tasks for work. So unfortunately, I'm not able to always comment on every video that I watch, but do know that I am watching you. I'm paying attention. I just can't always communicate with you that I've watched your video. But anyway, on to this. For this holiday season, I thought I would share some of my favorite channels. You guys are all my favorite. Even the people that watch me that don't have their own channel, I love you all and I want to spread some positivity. I want, you know, to bring other people that you might not know of out to you, because you might find enjoyment in them too. They might help your business if you're a reseller. So without further ado, here is my list of creators that I watch on YouTube. Again, not exclusive. I watch plenty more than just these. I just wanted it to be 22 creators in 2022. You know, I like that. I like it a lot. So they're in no order, just as I saw them on my subscription list. The first one is Courtney over at Common Tags. She's awesome. She is a California reseller. She has a dog named Luna. She also does reselling and real estate, and she has another third channel of her car camping. She camps out in her car. She goes all over the state of California. I love that. I myself at some point want to get like a little camper van and travel the country that way. So I enjoy watching all three of her channels, but Common Tags is the one that's specific to reselling. And she's really great. I appreciate that she is very transparent, like I try to be with you guys in all aspects of life. And yeah, so I really enjoy watching her. The next one on my list is Tabs McCaffrey. She is a Canadian reseller. I think she sells on eBay now too, but mostly it's Poshmark content. She does so many great videos of, you know, brands to look out for in specific categories. She talks about Poshmark issues that come up, like the acquisition of them by Naver, the Korean company. Definitely more Poshmark content than anything. So if you sell on Poshmark, and especially so if you're a Canadian posher, I highly recommend watching her channel. Yeah, she's super insightful and has a lot of specific information that is helpful to your business. Next is Bob Buys. She's based in Virginia, I believe, and she has an adorable kitty named Moxie who makes lots of appearances in her videos. Bob is amazing with vintage. She does sell a lot of vintage clothing, other vintage pieces, not limited to just clothing. She does sell hard goods, and she's great. I learned that flax is a type of linen from her channel. She has a lot of great information that is helpful for me because I just thought flax was just flax. I didn't know it was a type of linen material. So that was awesome to learn from her, and I always appreciate her little tidbits that she throws into her videos when she does thrift hauls. And she's also doing vlogmas this year, but hers is called Thriftmas. So she's going to 24 different thrift stores in the month of December and doing thrift hauls for all of them. And then I think she left the last week of the year for the month of December for her other videos like what sold and stuff like that. So if you're into Vlogmas, Thriftmas, go check her out. I'm starving, so I apologize that you guys just heard my stomach growl. Anyways, next I have Veronica Mitka. That's Veronica with a K. She is German. She has an adorable son named Flip. I think she's in New Jersey now. I'm trying to keep everybody straight. It's really hard. But she does a lot of ThredUp unboxings, kind of like I do. I've collabed with her several times over the last year or so. And yeah, she has a lot of good content on there. Dollar Day hauls, like I said, ThredUp unboxings. I think she does some Goodwill Blue Box unboxings as well. Always watching her channel to see what she's picking up. And I call her my soulmate. She did recently come up this way for like a work event, and I was unfortunately not able to meet up with her, and I was really upset about it. But yeah, really love watching her. Next, I have the Phi resellers. They are a married couple, Camilla and Kang. They recently had a baby in 2022, and I really enjoy them. They have a lot of thrift hauls, a lot of bins hauls. So if you're into the bins, definitely a good channel to check out. The bins is the Goodwill outlet, if you didn't know. And I also love their channel because Phi stands for financial independence. So they are trying to retire early, and it has been really inspiring for me personally because I'm on my own debt-free journey, and I'm also new to investing. I just started investing in 2022. They don't obviously give financial advice, but they share their journey and what's specific to them. So I find that really helpful in trying to learn about investments and stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, a good channel for you to watch. Next, I have Mountain Man Treasures, and that's Troy. He is Montana based. He used to work in radio, I believe, and then recently, I think it was in 2022, he quit that job, and now he does reselling in YouTube as his full-time gig. He does a lot of yard sales. So there's a couple people on here that also do a lot of yard sale videos. I don't often see thrift store content from him. I think it's mostly in the winter time when, you know, yard sales aren't really a thing in Montana because it's cold, similar to how it is here. So if yard sales are your thing, great channel to watch. And actually his intro is what made me reach out to my friend Ian to sing my little intro that I do in every video because I just loved Troy's so much. So yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that. I look forward to hearing that Mountain Man Treasures jingle every time I click on one of his videos. All right, next we have Amanda Pruitt. Lots of ThredUp content. She also does a lot of kids clothing, and she will take kids clothing that she gets in ThredUp boxes and then flip it at BST stores, so buy sell trade stores, like Plato's Closet, Clothes Mentor, stuff like that. And I think it's really cool because she flips them so quickly. And I mean, she's not making a whole lot of money, but she's able to move the items so fast, flipping them that way. And then sometimes she will then use that money to buy stuff in the BST stores and then flip that on her Poshmark and eBay. I think that's awesome. I would love to get started in kind of selling to BST stores. I only have one that's near me though, and it's not that great. So I have to do a little bit more research and see if there's some other place around here that I could sell to. I think she also sells to Once Upon a Child as well. So yeah, if you are into ThredUp content or you know, selling kids clothing, selling to BST stores, a great channel to check out. Okay, next we have the Cajun reseller, Chris. He is the plush king, in my opinion. He is the reason that I started picking up plush, picking up Squishmallows, vintage plush, all of that stuff. He sells a lot of those, obviously, if he's the plush king in my book. He sells a lot of toys, Funko Pops, stuff like that. So if that's kind of where you like to source, definitely recommend checking his channel out. He does a lot of what solds. He just went to Jamaica and did some videos from there, like what sold while I was on vacation. I love the on location stuff. I think it's fabulous. And I'm always learning all kinds of new toys and things to look out for. He also recently sold a plush for, I wanna say, close to $1,000. It was like $900 and change. And it was a Jellycat plush called Fergus the Frog. That's like mind-blowing to me. So yeah, I always look forward to clicking on his videos and watching what he sold. He sells things for like crazy good prices, and I'm just like, how? How? So I keep watching his videos because I want to learn how to do that too. Okay, next I have Via Glow. That's Gloria. I think she's pregnant right now, or possibly had her baby. I haven't seen any updates on Instagram yet, but she is pregnant with her first child, and I am so excited for her. And I appreciate her so much because she has zero filter, and that's how I am in real life. And she swears a lot, and I do that too when I'm not on YouTube. So I appreciate that so much, that realness. Like I mentioned when I talked about Courtney at Common Tags, I just really like that transparency, and you know, you're just yourself, and I can always appreciate that. And she does a lot of thrift hauls. She does also like a week in my life, and she does a weekly vlog, and she just vlogs every day and puts that all together into one video. And I really like watching vlogs. It kind of gives you some insight into people's daily lives, and I think that's so fascinating. So recommend her channel as well. Next, I have down Marcus at Dixon's Pickens. He is a 6-figure reseller on eBay. I don't think he sells on Poshmark. I think he is strictly eBay alone. And he recently, I believe just this year, became a 6-figure reseller, and he hit that 6 figures already. I think in like October, November, I want to say. He does a lot of vlog style videos as well, and he shows his full process from sourcing at the bins, which I think he goes only once a week, picks up all the items he needs for the week, and then I want to say he lists like 50 items per day. So He's listing a lot, making a lot of sales, of course. Obviously, if you're listing that much, you're bound to make more sales. And like I said, he shows his whole process down to sourcing the items, washing the items if they need washing, listing them. He shows his whole setup that he uses to list. And he shows you, you know, his inventory system and pulling those items for sale. He recently also, I believe, did an ASMR video where he just didn't talk the whole time and he just pulled his orders and got them shipped. And that was his video. I think that's really cool. It's kind of nice to like work alongside people like that. So yeah, check him out. His content's really great. Next is Megasis Thrift. So that's Megan. She is a cat lady also. Her and her husband, I believe, have 2 cats now. I know one of them is named Wednesday. I can't remember what the other one is. I do apologize. But she does What Sold Sundays every week. She does a lot of bins hauls. She recently moved across states. And so now she's in, I want to say, Northern California, NorCal. So she's doing a lot of content, you know, about the differences in the thrift stores between there and I think it was Portland, Oregon that she lived prior. So that's really helpful. It's cool to see, you know, the differences in pricing and the types of items you can find between the two. Because when I travel within the States, I like to go and visit the thrift stores. Like when I went to Texas right before the pandemic, I went to the bins there and I thrifted, and I just think that's so cool to go around the country and see how things are in that part of the country. So recommend her channel. I recommend all of the channels that I am talking about, of course, and there's plenty more that I can recommend. So if you want more of these, please let me know. I am happy to share who I watch. The next one is a newer subscription for me. This is Miss Taffy, part of the Candy Crew. That's what she calls her little YouTube family. I think she's almost exclusively bins, and maybe a little bit of like yard sales, estate sales, but almost all of the thrifting videos I see are the bins, and she takes you inside the bins in LA. And shows you, and sometimes it's really wild in there. So I like to see that. Again, like I said before, and talking about Megasis Thrift, I like to see the different thrifting in other parts of the world, other parts of the country. And she's even sold, I'm pretty sure, like a car, like a vehicle. So I find that interesting. She's also really good with shoes and cleaning shoes. She has a few videos on how she cleans her sneakers for resale, and she's just very enjoyable to watch. Speaking of shoes, next we're going to talk about Ginger Marvin. So that is Kathy and Chris, another married couple. Again, mostly bins. Kathy's really awesome with sourcing shoes. They also have a school bus that I think they are outfitting to be kind of like a camper so that they can go on trips with their family. They have, I believe, 2 sons and a dog named Reese, who's usually in their videos. And Kathy's inventory system is kind of what inspired me to redo my reseller shed in the spring. She's super organized, and I think she's really helpful for starting your resale business and trying to grow. And there was a time when she was doing a video every single day for a while. I think they've cut that back a little bit, and they also do lives on Thursdays as well, if you want to check that out and kind of see their vibe. And yeah, really helpful for my resale business especially, so I'm sure it can be helpful for you as well. Next we have the Philly Flipper, who is Paul, and he is about to move from Philly to Florida in the next few months. And I don't know if he's gonna change his name. I assume not, because everybody knows him as the Philly Flipper. His name is Paul, if I didn't already mention that. I can't keep things straight. It's a wonder that I, you know, wake up every day and survive. But anyway, lots of yard sale content. He's done a lot of the big yard sales that happen all over the country. Like I don't even know the names of them, but there's one that goes like vertically and it goes through Kentucky. He went to that one. He's done some other ones like the bigger like community yard sales. He does auction houses. He's got an adorable dog named Sasha. He is Ukrainian as well. So when that whole Ukrainian situation happened, he pulled together a fundraiser within his YouTube community, which I thought was really awesome, and sent out several $1,000s to this one charity out there that directly benefited the Ukrainian refugees. So that's really cool to me. But yeah, lots of yard sale content, auction houses. I don't know if he really does estate sales. I think sometimes maybe, and church sales, that type of stuff. And he puts out a lot of content almost every day, I want to say. And he does what solds, and he walks around his warehouse as he talks about his sales. And yeah, it's really awesome to see him grow so much. I started watching his content when he had well under 1,000 subs, and I think now he's at like 16K, and that's all happened within like the last year or so. So really happy for him and his success. Okay, next we have Gino's Finds. He is from Florida. He always mentions pizza when he comments on my YouTube videos, and I love him for it. Apologies for the noise outside. My house is pretty close to the street. Anyways, lots of goodwill. I don't know if I've ever seen him go to like another well-known thrift store besides the Goodwill. It's mostly the Goodwill, and he picks up a lot of hard goods, which is something that I am trying to learn more about as I not so much move away from clothing, but just try and expand my knowledge and expand my business. Lots of like little trinkety type stuff, and he's very knowledgeable about toys. He picks up like Christmas ornaments and all kinds of random stuff that I probably would never look at. So watching his channel is helpful to me because I look more towards that stuff now because I've watched so many of his videos, and he always in every video talks about his subscribers and non-subscribers. For example, the non-subscribers have to sit in the way back of the car with the zombies, and the subscribers get to sit up front, and I just think that's so fun to watch. So yeah, I recommend his channel too. Another really great hard goods seller is Tiffany at Thrifting Vegas. She also uploads quite frequently, and it's almost always the Goodwill. She's done a couple collabs with like Laura Caldwell. She has a pretty big following on YouTube. She just recently met up with Thrifters Anonymous, Shayna and Edwina. I subscribe to them too. I think they're awesome together. And she's been to a couple of like the reseller conventions, but super knowledgeable about hard goods especially. I don't really see her ever go into the clothing. I don't think she honestly even messes around with the clothing and shoes. I think it's just specifically the hard goods, but she knows so much about everything, and that just fascinates me because I wish I could be that knowledgeable. So watching her channel definitely helps me in that aspect. And she recently started on Whatnot, I'm pretty sure. And I think in her last couple of videos, she has talked about she is opening up like an antique booth space out in Vegas. So I'm really excited to see how that goes for her and how that progresses, and you know, how she adapts to that within her business. So definitely check out Tiffany's channel. Next, I want to talk about Jack Valentine's channel. So Jack Valentine's channel is actually Jack and Ryan. They are one of my favorite duos of all time. They are so darn enjoyable to watch, the way that they, you know, bounce off of each other. For example, the way they say Lululemon, and now they've gone into saying Aretha Athleta for Athleta because Ryan kind of stumbled and accidentally said that in one video, and they just ran with it. But they're just so fun to watch. I really recommend them. Jack also does really well on the Real. I know I don't specifically sell there anymore, and yes, that video is coming, but he does super well over there. So if you are interested in potentially selling on the Real or just want more of that type of content, recommend him 100%. He doesn't do those videos as frequently, but he does do a good amount of them. So head over there if you want that type of content. They do phenomenally well at the bins. I think they're in Minneapolis area. And sadly I didn't get to go to that bins when I went out there earlier this year with my daughter for her birthday, but they find like the most epic designer finds at the Goodwill bins, and it's crazy to me. I think it's so awesome. They also do what sold Saturdays, I believe, and sometimes Jack's mom makes an appearance in their videos. Debbie, she resells as well, and I think now Jack's brother also is a reseller, so it's kind of like a family affair now, but yeah, can't recommend them enough. Okay, next is Lori Tata. She is a local New England girl. I have talked about her a few times on this channel. I won a gift card to the Garment District, which is a thrift store in Cambridge, Mass, from her on Instagram a couple months ago, and I put out that video when I finally got there to go thrifting, but love her content. She's got a dog named Lulu. You guys know I like to talk about the animals, love her. She's awesome. She's also doing not quite vlogmas, but she's doing happy haul a days, like thrift haul a days, and I think just the first 10 days in December. She also has a second channel called Time with Tata, I believe, that's more like planning and, you know, luxury handbags versus reselling. Her Lori Tata channel is basically just reselling. She also does travel sometimes to Florida, New York, other places, and does some kind of resale content there, which I love to see. I've mentioned this before. You guys know I love to travel. So yeah, she does really well on Poshmark, but she's also branched out into eBay semi-recently, and she's having a lot of success over there too. So if you want another eBay and Poshmark seller to watch, recommend Lori's channel. Okay, the next channel I'm gonna share with you is an Amazon specific seller. So if you're into selling on Amazon, that would be the channel that I would recommend that you go and watch. It is Justin at the Flipping Accountant. Obviously his name implies that he is an accountant, and he does a lot of Walmart clearance. That's mostly what I see from his channel. So he goes to Walmart, searches the toys mostly. He does pick up other things as well too, but it's mostly the toys that he kind of focuses on, and he goes to Walmart, focuses on the clearance sections, and then he flips those on Amazon, and he does really well. Justin's super nice. He used to come and watch my lives when I used to do my weekly lives. And it's been really fun to kind of chat with him and learn more about Amazon, even though I don't sell on Amazon at all. I have done a couple of like fulfilled by merchant instead of FBA, fulfilled by Amazon in the past, like years ago, but I never really did it consistently. But it's still interesting to pick up and see what he's picking up at Walmart. I mean, you could easily pick up the same items and sell them on eBay versus Amazon. You probably get more of a premium on Amazon, which is kind of the appeal of selling there. But yeah, recommend his channel too. Next, we have another local person to me. It's actually two people. They are a married couple, Tyler and Shay of Spending Under 30. I have seen them quite a few times out in the thrift stores. I've spoken to Shay in a couple thrift stores when we've come across each other and not been like on our way in or out. And they're awesome. They also do, like Tabs McCaffrey I mentioned earlier, a lot of content about Poshmark and their changes. They did an eBay video as well after the eBay convention. They talked about like the Posh fireside chats, their acquisition with Naver as well. They also have a like travel-y thrift series. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. I am so sorry. I did not prepare this video too well. I kind of just wanted to get it out there. But that's interesting for me too. And they do really well on Poshmark and eBay. They're always sharing their sales. They've also kind of expanded into DVDs. So again, I'm trying to expand my business. I like to hear about other categories that I don't normally source. So that's helpful for me and my business and helping me to grow. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about Tyler and Shay. Shay is a full-time reseller. They are trying to get to a point where Tyler can also come and stay home and be a full-time reseller as well. So I'm hopeful that they'll be able to do that in, you know, the near future, and highly recommend their channel. Okay, so that was number 20 on my list. That means I have 2 more to share with you for 22 creators in 2022. Next is Murrayed Life. That's Alicia. She, I believe, is in Mississippi area. And she does a lot of unboxings. ThredUp, Goodwill, America's Thrift Supply. She's super well known on TikTok. Also, she has a really big following, at least in my opinion, a big following on TikTok. So she does a lot of short form content. She also sells to BST stores, buy, sell, trade, like Amanda Pruitt. She's super detail oriented, especially with those videos. She will put, you know, X's or check marks on the screen for what items they did or didn't accept. She will break down exactly how much they gave her for the items, how many items they took. And again, I find that helpful, like I mentioned when I talked about Amanda Pruitt's channel, because I don't have much experience selling to BST stores, and it's something that I would like to kind of learn more about. Lots of thrift hauls from her, some what sold videos, like I said, unboxings, and she's super, super sweet. I really enjoy watching her. And the last creator we're going to talk about today is Danica at Thrifty Stew. She's another Canadian reseller. Her and Tabs McCaffrey that I spoke about earlier are really good friends. And Danica is actually a flight attendant or stewardess, hence the stew in her name. So she does a lot of traveling thrift type content, which again, traveling and thrifting, 2 things that I really love. So to have them together, it's a win for me. So she does like layover videos where she goes out and thrifts in whatever location she happens to be at while she is working, which I think is really cool. She also sells on both Canadian and US Poshmark. She's also recently gone into eBay and Etsy, I believe. Danica is what I would consider the Lululemon queen. She recently put out an all Lululemon video about how to source it for your online business, what to look for in the thrift stores, the years associated with the different types of size dots, how to sell it, what to price at, all of that fun stuff. And as a person who enjoys selling activewear, and I do sell a lot of activewear, that was super insightful for me. She goes into a lot of details about that. And I would really recommend you watch that video if you sell Lululemon at all, if you would like to start selling Lululemon, if you want to know how to find more of it. She finds so much Lulu, it's ridiculous. I'm kind of a little bit jealous because I personally love Lulu, even though Athleta does perform better for me, as I've been saying. But yeah, lots of thrift hauls from her. She goes to different bins locations and just regular general thrift stores wherever she happens to be at for her job. So I think that's super interesting to watch. And yeah, that's everything for this video. 22 creators that I love to watch in 2022. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. That video would be very, very long because, like I said, I have almost 200 subscriptions on YouTube and I watch every single one of them. So please don't feel slighted if you didn't make this list. I am happy to do another one of more creators that I watch if this is something that you're at all interested in. I just kind of wanted to get some more eyeballs on these people that I love. Not that I don't want to do that for everybody that I love, but again, I don't only watch resellers on YouTube, and I wanted this to be reseller specific. I watch way more people than this list of 22, and I like to consume YouTube content. It's really helpful for me to have not really the visual, because I'm always working at the same time, like at my full-time job, so I can't just watch the screen, but I listen and I retain that information so much more when I can listen to it as I'm doing something else. It's just what works for me. So if you're a visual person, there obviously is that aspect as well. You can just sit down and watch them on the screen. And I think that's wonderful. I love that technology has come so far that we're able to do that, and we can share our lives and share our businesses and not only put ourselves out there, but also help other people in the process. Like, I started YouTube because I have a lot of social anxiety. And I also like to challenge myself. So this was something that was really difficult for me to overcome, to come and sit down in front of a camera and talk to people on the internet that I have no idea who they are. And I've overcome that. I still have some anxiety about it, especially so with filming in public, but this has been really helpful for me. I never really started YouTube for the money. Yes, the small, very small amount of income that I make from YouTube is great. I mean, why would you complain about extra income? But I never did it for that reason. I did it because I enjoyed the challenge of, you know, trying to do something that was well outside of my comfort zone, if that makes sense. And I just really enjoyed watching other people and learning about them and who they are and what they like to do, and helping me to make more money by starting this side hustle, because I never started selling things other than from my own personal closet, which I did like off and on since like 2004 is when I started my eBay account. But anyways, that's really what helped me get into this as a side hustle. Before I started reselling in 2018, I did Uber. I've done personal training on the side. I almost always had a side job in addition to my, you know, everyday income. And I've really enjoyed reselling, and I've really enjoyed the YouTube community. So I wanted to share some people that have helped me on my personal journey. So hopefully you guys have found some new people to go out and watch. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you liked it at all, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out here on YouTube to know what type of content you enjoy seeing from me. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here in my weird little family on the internet, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.